All right, this video is for NF3, page 5. So math, NF3, page 5. It looks like this. Okay, and today we're going to talk about decomposing fractions. So we talked about it a little bit, that decomposing means to break apart. So if we go back and look at the page that we did at the very beginning of NF3, okay, we have our circles, and we have it broken apart into 2, 3, and 1. And when we added those together, 3/8 plus 2/8 plus 1/8, it gives us the total of 6/8. Well, today we're not going to do that necessarily with a picture. You can if you want. But we're going to decompose these fractions in 2 different ways. So let's look at this one, the example, 3/8. So I can take the 3. Remember, our 8 is staying the same. We're not changing the size of the pieces. We're keeping the 8s. But we're going to take the 3 and we're going to decompose that, break it into smaller pieces. So for this one, I'm going to break the 3 into a 1/8, a 1/8, and a 1/8. And if I add 1/8 plus 1/8 plus 1/8, I get 3/8. Now, I need to come up with a second way to decompose 3/8. So instead of splitting these all into ones, I could group it and say I have 2/8 plus 1/8. 2 plus 1 is 3. It still equals 3/8. So let's go over and look at 4/5. How could we break up the 4 into smaller groups, decompose it? Okay, I'm going to give you a few ideas and you choose the one that makes sense to you or that you like. So I could take this 4/5 and I could break it up into 1/5 plus 1/5 plus 1/5 plus 1/5. There are 4/5. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is equal. I could also take my 4/5 and I could break that up into a 2/5 plus a 2/5. 2 plus 2 is 4 out of 5. I could also, I'm going to do another one. I could also do 3/5 plus 1/5. 3 plus 1 is 4 out of 5. So all I'm doing, my friends, is I'm decomposing. I'm taking that top number, I'm breaking it into smaller parts, and I'm finding a way to come up with this total. Okay, so let's go to 5/6. How could we break up that 5? We could break up that 5 by doing 1/6, 1/6, 1/6, 1/6, 1/6, 1/6 5 times. I could break that 5/6 into a 2 and a 3. 2 plus 3 is 5, 6. I could break this 5/6 into a 4 and a 1. So I have lots of different options on there. I'm going to do a 4/6 plus 1/6. Is that 5/6? You bet. How else could I do it? I could also do 1/6 plus 1/6 plus 1/6 plus 1/6 plus 1/6. That is 5/6. All right, my friends, so what you're going to do is down through number 12, you are going to decompose these fractions in 2 different ways. You're going to decompose these fractions in 2 different ways for each one. All right, there's the examples. You got this, my friends. Just one page today. NF3, page 5. Nice job.